My name is Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you achieve more strength, energy, more results in the gym, overall more self-acceptance. Have you ever struggled with doubling down on yourself, on your skills, on that which you're the best at? What I mean by this is, have you ever struggled with not knowing whether to keep digging and doubling down and putting more time, energy, money, investment in that which you've already invested heavily in? When maybe you're fatigued, maybe there's people more successful monetarily wise in the same industry that you've done decent in, but you find yourself, not at the top of income brackets, and wondered, maybe while I love this field or I love this industry, maybe I should look for something else. You see, I know that me as a fitness coach for over a decade, I know that I've been decently successful, more successful in fitness than the average individual. Meaning in the private sector, not as a school PE coach or something like that, or something that's sort of government funded. In the private sector, I myself as a fitness coach have been able to sustain myself full time. And generally speaking, in the private sector, that's not very common to just have a clientele base big enough to be able to sustain your lifestyle, your daily needs. And typically people in the fitness sector will find themselves having to be a teacher during the day and a trainer part-time. Now, even though that's been my case, I still find myself sometimes at a plateau or a ceiling, or an invisible ceiling with income. While I want to support a family, for example, or have the money to travel more, I find myself hitting a ceiling in income year after year. And that's become frustrating over the years because some years are better than others, and some years it's like, gee, that was a whirlwind. And my passion for fitness, my love for fitness, the importance of fitness and strength and muscle and flexibility only grows. I only see it was a wise decision to get into it so deeply because, for example, I was in a car accident in February, on February 2nd, in 2018, or February 4th, and my body withstood a huge blow. I almost died, and if it wasn't for my muscularity, the strength of my body, I believe I could have died, could have broken some bones. Now, glory to God first and foremost, and also, of course, my body was strong enough to sustain the hit. And I've been through 6 accidents like that in my life. Every one of those, my body was able to sustain the hit in order to walk away, to keep squatting. So I've been very grateful for what my physique has been able to give me as far as energy, as far as youth, as far as vitality, overall, confidence. I'm very happy with what it's given me. And I see myself as it's been a great investment. I don't even know. I've invested several thousands of dollars, multiple thousands of dollars to take my body to where it is as far as nutrition, education, gym memberships, gym clothing, the list goes on and on. So it just goes beyond the average. Now, because of that skill set, because of my education, because of the amount of effort and investment and strategies and career moves I've done in the fitness realm, I've been able to, again, most of my career has always been in the fitness world. And I have found myself sometimes thinking of other industries to sort of see, well, maybe there's another industry that will pay me more. And what I have found is that sometimes when I try to switch industries, those industries pay me so little, or I just don't do well in them. Because if you ask me, well, why? It's because I excel at fitness and leadership. When I say, my name is Jacob Adams, I'm a fitness and leadership coach, it doesn't come from something I read in a book to tell, this is what I'm going to be. The truth of the matter is that I say that because looking at my life, that's really what I'm the best at. I could help someone like yourself achieve great results in the gym, get a great understanding of fitness, just really immerse yourself, help you immerse yourself in the fitness world. But other industries, I'm not that good in. I'm really not the best in those industries. Now again, in fitness and leadership and psychology and asking and getting the most for our body and performance, I excel at that. So going back to, have you ever struggled with doubling down on yourself, on your strengths? The reason Gary Vee and Joe Rogan are here is because Gary Vee says, double down. If you're remotely good at anything that you do, double down on that. Double down on yourself. Double down on your strengths. Now, naturally, that position can be challenged by someone like Brendon Burchard, who says you got to build other skill sets. And we'll go into that a little bit. But that said, I agree with Gary Vee, which is, what are you going to do? Are you going to completely ignore your strengths and chase the other shiny object? Like, I also have wanted to be a musician in my life. I really have. How do I find the time to balance to, just stop what I'm doing with fitness and what I've done well with fitness? I've built an Advocare team. I've built a fitness company. I've helped people achieve more. I train people. I still to this day get new clients, keep training people that are training with me, and we're continuously breaking through new plateaus and changing their program to get to the next level, right? So am I really going to walk away from that process that means so much to me, that I love, that it still excites me after all of these years, like a marriage really, to get fitness at me in decision? Do I walk away from that in the hopes of becoming like the next, I don't know, Bob Dylan or something, or, Kurt Cobain? Like, at one point that was feasible if I would have started years and years ago. But at this stage, isn't it better for me to double down on what seems to be that which is fueling me, which does sustain me, which has sustained me, which shows opportunity for growth still, which I happen to be really, really good at? Wouldn't it make more logical sense to double down on that? So after reviewing all of my strategies, like, hey, looking at this company or working for another company, trying to maybe do something else besides fitness through my many years of being in fitness and not doing well in it, and then coming back to fitness and then excelling again, that's what I see, and getting passion and, energy. I found that Gary Vee is correct, for me, that it is correct to double down on yourself. And the struggle is, again, letting go of the other opportunities or the other potential things that you could do to double down. See, doubling down means that you're gonna take your time, your mental energy, your resources, basically your time, energy, and money to double down. You're gonna have to take that to double down and put even more in to get that top 10% level in your field. And that's what this video is about. So, for example, do I think of myself as in the top 10% of the fitness industry? It's very difficult to quantify that. I would say that if I'm not there in the top 10% right now, I could see myself definitely in a trajectory towards that because of all the skills that I'm developing and the level of education and rereading, reapplication, recertifications, the doubling down, the compound effect, the year after year, just the weeding out process that occurs when new people enter the industry, and as time goes on, they sort of, they go chase a new shiny object. All these things, as I've seen as time goes on, I think I'm definitely headed towards the top 10% in this industry. And that's what doubling down is about, right? It's about being a leader in your field. So I have found that is a good strategy for me. And of course, that remains to be proven. Obviously someone can say, well, I don't think so. And that's great. I'm just saying, in my experience, when it comes to looking at my life, I see that when I do double down, when I go deeper and I put even more, or I'm willing to get into debt even more for what I believe in, for a company I believe in, for an industry I believe in, then things start growing again and the new level shows itself. And I've gone through that several times, and it's happening right now as I make this video, which is why I wanted to make it. Like, doubling down starts becoming a strategy. It's almost like the next level burn in working out, like the next level of weight training. It could scare away some, but the big boys come out to play at that level. And that's what I've seen in fitness, in doubling down, okay? I think that if we look at the past, we will see that we were raised to be more safe. We were raised to take safer, less risky positions. And to be honest with you, being in fitness has not been safe per se. It's had its safety type feelings in it, but it's also been very risky, and I did those things because I believed in it so much. And I think in the past, our parents, or the parents of the 80s or 70s or 50s, there was more economic predictability, and it was a smart move to be safe, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor. And those are still great decisions. But if you don't believe in them and you even hate the idea, then there's a level of risk there. And I think we are moving to a stage where we know that, hey, you have one life. How are you going to live it? Are you going to live it well? Are you going to live it with passion and with direction and with creativity? And are you going to get involved in the creative process to design your life? And that's what we're headed towards now, where there's a field of leaders all living with this new energy of living from this heart, from this space in their heart, from this vision, from this inner assertiveness, from this inner drive, from this inner creative process, where they're contributing with full force because they're coming from all of their alignments is coming through, where it's a creative process, where it's a belief thing, where it's a passion thing, where it's also a career move that sustains them. Because everyone's going to need a career that sustains them to some degree. So it stands to reason that there has to be that element. But if you do a career move based on only one that sustains you or helps you survive, then you can burn out a lot quicker. Where every year, I find myself being reborn and find myself with a new energy, with a new tenacity, with new skill sets in the same industry. And that gives me new energy, a new perspective, and new passions. And when you can decipher these things, you're separating yourself from an old traditional mindset to a newer, more modern mindset. And that's why this video is being made on evolution training, right? Because it's a modern mindset for someone wanting to evolve. So thank you for watching. I have the framework here as to which for you to adopt. And so the first question you want to ask yourself if you want to double down is, ask yourself, what sticks? What sticks in your life? For me, for the last 18 years, fitness has stuck in my life. I never question, I never start a new year and say, well, how am I going to remove fitness? It sticks. How am I going to get better at fitness every day? What am I doing today for fitness? What am I doing to get better today? Every day it's a question, the same question. Every day it's the same question. Today I had a salad and a chicken. I had a protein bar. Tonight I'm going to have a little chicken or maybe some eggs and some oatmeal. Does that make sense? It's a consistent question. How am I going to do this? How am I going to improve this? What sticks in your life? That every year it's an important question. What sticks in your life? What meaning does this give my life and legacy? Besides the sustaining of helping you pay your bills, what meaning does this give your life? Okay, so when they close a casket on me or etc., what will people say? What is the legacy I will leave? Man, Jacob was always into fitness all his life. He was this fitness leader. He was a leader in fitness, always pushing this all his life, just pushing this idea. So what is it? What meaning does it give you? What does it mean to your heart? For me, the meaning is I'm breaking the cycle of obesity in my family and in the families of others. There's a meaning there, okay? If I were the best in this field or top 10%, what would that feel like for me? In other words, I want to be top 10% in this industry, in this market, in this field. What would that feel like for me? Wow, what kind of respect would I give myself? What kind of self-esteem would that give me, right? If I were the best, top 10%, what would that feel? I think I would feel just so honorable, so completed, so I did a good job. Top 10%, I'm not trying to be number one or I have to be known as the one. Really, just top 10% in my industry. What skill can I improve to enhance my strength? Okay, like for example, one of the things that I'm doing to improve my overall career is getting out there, getting some exposure with these YouTube videos, right? Because instead of just focusing on, one gym, I want to touch a global market, a global scale, right? So I'm looking to scale and really expand and touch many lives, right? So that's one thing I'm doing. But it's also, in my work, it's also dealing with proprioception, or the stabilization work that I'm doing recently to help improve balance and overall neuromuscular efficiency. So what skill can you improve? Those are just two things that I'm doing right now. Is there anything I would consider? If so, can I incorporate that? In other words, there's obviously the temptation is to do something else besides doubling down. Well, what would that be? And can you do that part-time? In other words, I do cryptocurrency. I'm working on a cryptocurrency part-time while I'm doing fitness full-time, right? So that's very interesting to me. Music's very interesting. So I need to listen to music part-time. What can I incorporate on a part-time basis? That way I can continue doubling down. How good am I really? And who is better than me? Who do you admire in your field you could say to yourself, you don't have to tell me, I know people that I think, wow, they have a great marketing campaign, or they have a great physique, who do you admire and how do you compare to them? How good are you really? I think that, I have some strengths that some of my heroes have, and I'm not going to verbalize them, but I have some inner strengths that my own heroes don't have. And I'm not going to verbalize them. I'm not trying to be like, well, I'm better than this. But how do you stack up against the top 10%? And I think that that's a very empowering, because even as I made this video, I felt, wow, that's pretty powerful that I have that inner strength. And my hero, who's in the top 10%, does not. So in a way, aren't I in the top 10%? Those are some questions I'd ask myself to double down, and I do ask myself to double down. Doubling down is a very elusive concept, because how do you know you are in fact doubling down? There are some questions I use to measure my doubling down. Obviously, look at where you're putting your time and money and resources. Naturally, it's natural to not double down and just do what someone else is telling you to do. I hope that you make the right choice and double down. This is Jacob Adams. That's our time today. Subscribe, ask any questions. I'd love to hear your perspective on doubling down. We'll see you next time. Bye.